Hi, everyone. Welcome back and happy Wednesday. I know you guys always say, when are you going to stop saying hi 3 times? Well, name them. I feel like maybe I have a little. No, I do not have a little bit of Sutton in me. I take that back. Guys, we're about to go in because last night we watched the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 14 finale. And clearly we have some opinions. So I'm joined by our girls from Taste of Reality. We get both of them today, which I'm excited about. Ashely and Imani. Before we jump in, though, I wanted to let you guys know, thank you for all of the reviews and stuff on Blow. I still have that code pinned up at the top. And let us know in the live chat what you thought of the finale, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. And let us know where you're watching from, because I think it's always exciting to know where we're at. We're all on different sides of the world, but in these lives, we get to come together in a community, and that's my favorite. You can see Pippa's tail in the back. So with that, smash the like button, show some love, and let's welcome Ashely and Imani. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, you raised me one?
I raised you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm meeting energy today, Adam.
I like it. I've been on this, like, I have so much energy lately, you guys. And I think that it's good. It's a feel good vibe. I think that 2025, it didn't start off like the most exciting year, but like now as we're kind of getting into the summer and stuff, I just feel it's like all good vibes. Like, I know Gia Giudice said 2025 is the year for the Giudices. I don't think that's true, but I do think it's a good year for the rest of us. It's a year.
It's a year for the Giudices, all right?
Fair enough. It is a year.
It is a year.
I toast.
It is a year. But don't worry, guys. We're not back to talking about the Giudices. We're going to talk about Real Housewives.
Let me get my little monster. One second.
No, you're
not
okay.
To be confused with a Lady Gaga fan, which she might be.
It could be. Could be. I have, Pippa's like, no, I'm done with you guys. I'm going to go upstairs.
Karna? What is that?
I think that's Texas, and I don't know what that is.
That's an interesting place.
Hey, Adrian, maybe you can elaborate on that a little bit. Hi, all from the Garden State. Okay, we got some Jazzy.
Hello, Joyzy.
Long time no see. Okay, guys, I'll start with Imani. Imani, last night's finale, 1 to 10. Where are you sitting?
To me, as Andy Cohen would say, with all due, 5. I feel like I'm being generous with that. It was very boring. Nothing really came of it. I was expecting more like of the showman with all their outfits. I thought they were going to do something. It fell flat for me. And I also saw that they edited out quite a bit of things in the finale, which was a bummer. But it was about a 5, kind of a lackluster letdown.
I want to get into this after we ask Ashely too, like later, if I forget. I was hit on the head, guys. I always remind you. But if I forget, I want to get into what was left out. But Ashely, Imani gave it a 5. Where are you?
I'm going for a 6. And I'm not one who dislikes a slow episode as long as there's reason for it. But this was a finale. This was a disappointment.
Can I ask you guys something?
Yeah.
Please.
How do you feel? There's been a lot of discourse about this lately. And I've noticed that Bravo, the Housewives specifically, have started ending seasons on cash trips. How do you guys feel about that? Because I don't know if I absolutely love it.
I don't. I mean, unless there's a reason behind it, but it just kind of feels like they're doing it now just to do it. Like there was no closure or anything to where it made sense that was the finale.
Right.
I'm not into it.
I don't
like when you start there either.
I gotta say, I think that Pippa, get out from under my cords, you little horse.
We're having animal days today, you guys.
That's okay. We don't like something, but we love dogs. We're not crazy about bitches.
Right.
What was I gonna say?
Mine.
I thought Salt Lake City does a great job of ending on a finale. They've killed it with ending on finales. They killed it with the Monica finale. I think they killed it last season with that finale, with the whole Bronwyn text thing. It felt gross, but we were still talking about it and it was still explosive. This, I'm gonna just meet you guys in the middle and do a 5.5. I thought it was disappointing, and watching some of these women, like the grown women, act like just complete children.
It was so embarrassing.
It was so embarrassing.
These are women in their 50s.
Maybe let's just start with Sutton Strack.
Real quick, because Adam, I know you love an analogy, and I know both of you amazing humans are watching White Lotus. Yeah. Last night, I realized that the cast of Beverly Hills is the the friend group, the Jackson, Lori, and I forget the other one's name. Like, that's them. They hate each other. These women are involved with each other because they have to be. The women on White Lotus have been friends forever, and they're only friends because they've always been friends. These women are only friends because they're on camera, and I want real friendships.
Yeah, well, and like I appreciate the fact that they acknowledge that they're doing a show, so they bring the drama. But I don't. The contradictions and the hypocrisy of it all. I like when it's pointed out and it's positive. For example, I always like a good, right now, it's hard not to do a Judice analogy, but Bethany Frankel has been
hopefully they can understand it.
Yeah, well, Bethany Frankel has been attacking Teresa and Louis, right? And she's talking about the finances, and she's like, he's a thousandaire and blah, blah, blah. And nobody goes on these shit shows if you have real money. And Jen Fessler came in and she's like, that's a contradiction. That is so hypocritical, because when she sold her company, the cocktail portion, for $100 million, she still returned to the show. And I was like, exactly, clock that shit.
I think all of the Housewives are hypocritical, especially on the Beverly Hills franchise. Also, someone pointed out that they don't have breast cancer. I just wanted to shout that out really quick.
Oh yeah, I missed that. Oh, I was thinking about you.
Julia, was it? Yes, Julia.
Oh,
congrats,
so
congrats,
happy to
Julia.
hear that.
So happy.
You and your boobies.
That's amazing news. Love that. I think on the Beverly Hills franchise, especially, they're all very hypocritical. Like, they want blind loyalty, but also you also do that to your friend. Like, it's all very hypocritical, and it's always like, yes, but I'm different, so that's frustrating to see.
Before we continue on this with the Sutton stuff too, I did want to acknowledge, because this I hated. Garcelle announced her exit yesterday, and I, even last night watching the finale, watching her start to acknowledge the fact that, I have kind of attached myself to Sutton. Sutton's attached herself to me, and now I'm kind of seeing that, like, okay, well, there are times where she prioritizes the other women over me, and maybe I need to start doing that too and forming new friendships. I wanted to see that. But I do appreciate somebody who can see, like, okay, maybe my time is nearing, or something, like they have good foresight. Yeah. And they're like, maybe this is the moment that I do exit the show. So,
well, I wish that we could have seen more Erica and Garcelle, because I think they honestly could have had a really good friendship for the show. If you remember, I think it was last season, or maybe it was early in this season, Sutton, Garcelle, and Erica all went out to like dinner or drinks or something, and they all had a really great time, the three of them. And what they edited out, to circle back to earlier, was Garcelle and Erica like kiss. That was in the trailer, and that never happened on the show. And they edited it out of the finale. And it's like, I feel like Erica and Garcelle really could have had a great relationship, because they both like love dating. Like, they're very much similar women. Like, I feel like they could have been friends very easily. And it's just unfortunate that they never got a chance to. We never got to see that play out fully.
What I noticed about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they have two castmates in particular that have this they have like this innate ability to deliver what they're saying with this really nasty tone to it. And I think that that's Erica and Sutton.
Sutton says it with her eyes.
So, I hate that.
Sutton's eyes are so scary when she gets into that like dark Sutton. Like, it's literally like dark Sutton. Like, it's terrifying.
I always say that she reminds me of my former stepmom, but
that's
Sutton,
scary.
This drove me insane. Last night, because she's like, all of them are bullying me and they're picking on me. And then editors, producers, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us the montage of moments where Sutton has been such an asshole to these women. And I can say that because that's true. That's how she has treated the other women. She has got into their business when it wasn't her business to get into. She has asked questions that she had nothing to do with. And like, even when Garcelle asked her, Sutton, I got to ask you, how did you get your money? She was so taken aback by that. Right. But then like when people asked her, or when she asks anybody else something, she expects an answer and she doesn't find it to be nasty. She really has like this, it's like she lives in like Delulu land. One.
And Erica clocked it. She was like, Sutton, I was just asking you a question because you always just ask us questions. So why can't we just ask you a question without you needing a rollerball and crying and being a victim and this, that, and the third? Because I'm like, I will say Garcelle and Sutton, I would be so annoyed if they were my friends on the show because they always are asking questions and getting into their business. And we really don't know a ton about Garcelle and Sutton respectively. I don't feel. I know about Garcelle's business event endeavors, which I love that for her. And she should use the platform to further her own businesses, which she has done. Kadoos. But I don't know much about them personally. Do you? I know about Sutton's father passing away tragically. And that's definitely, I won't take that from her. But what do you know about her?
She's rich.
Aside from the fact that she's very rich from a divorce and she has like a store that people don't really understand what it is.
And she's been on the show how many seasons?
It's been a lot. She said 5 years. And Adam, I know this is something you say often and I couldn't agree more. There's nothing worse than playing the victim. What do you say? Being the victim and then playing the
villain and a victim at the same time.
Thank you. Yeah, the villain and a victim. And I feel that every single one of these women, with the exception of maybe Bozza, obviously, has been the victim and the villain. And those master cuts yesterday, bravo to the Bravo editors who did the super cut of Sutton being difficult, and then the other one too of Dorit going after, we saw Sutton go after Dorit. We saw Dorit go after Sutton. It was a lot. These women don't like each other. What happened to being friends on these shows? Oh, and let's talk about Bozza coming in as Sutton's friend. I went online to do something like write an article the other day. There are no pictures of them together. They're not real friends. They might have been
friends. But that's like when Leah McSweeney also brought in Ebony K. Williams. They weren't friends.
Yeah, and on Salt Lake City, I'm pretty sure Lisa brought on, I think Lisa and Bronwyn did have a history, but that's, a tale as told as old as time. Michelle brought something out that I thought was really interesting, and I hope they bring it up in the reunion. When Eric, first of all, I was kind of laughing at the beginning of it when she was like, can I just be a Barbie tonight? I received that. Like, can I just be a Barbie sometimes? 100%. But when she said, and let's pretend I don't have an IQ of 140. Like, so you're saying Dorit, Erica, and Kyle by default are stupid? I don't think I would argue Erica's one of the most cunning women on that cast. I think she's very smart and she knows
cunning
a lot.
And cunty.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I
don't think people with high intelligence go around throwing that out.
But it's just, I think Sutton does have a superiority complex. She's rich and she's also too hypocritical, because Crystal also was like, these women are not educated and everybody had an issue with it. But now Sutton can say her intellect's 140. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't know if that's going to be addressed at the reunion because they didn't hear that. Yeah, they didn't hear that. And I'm sure that they'll probably address that at the reunion. But my problem is like, I guess just maybe because I feel like I am a normal person. I don't know. But I'm talking about just like how I operate friendships and stuff. I never if I give it to somebody and somebody gives it back to me, then I understand that I open that door. But like for Sutton, when she's so nasty and then all of a sudden somebody gives it to her and she throws tantrums and her arguments are invalid. And Kyle Richards clocked that. Like, she's like, Kyle wasn't there. And Garcelle, I love Garcelle, but she was like, where was your friend Kyle? And Kyle's like, hold on, wait a minute. You and Jennifer Tilly over here are her ride or dies. Where were you guys? I didn't love Garcelle's answer where she was like, well, unfortunately, it seems like she wants more validation from you. I'm like, no, Garcelle didn't want to be there for her because Sutton wasn't there for Garcelle. So Garcelle even said in her confessional, I'm going to let your ass sink over here and you can figure it out because that's exactly what you did to me. So there was there was a method to the madness with her, and that's
Correct.
why she did it. It wasn't because she wanted that validation from Kyle. And Kyle made a very valid point. Like, you guys were not there for her. Why is this on me? Sutton is a walking contradiction.
I think in the case of Kyle as well, I think there's also another layer. I think Garcelle just does not like Kyle. They just don't mesh. I think Garcelle also wants so badly to be accepted by Kyle, and she's not for whatever reason. And Sutton is a little bit is accepted by Kyle in that clique, a little bit. So I think Garcelle felt a way about that. And so she was like, okay, it's going to be Sutton and I against the Fox Force 5. And now it's like, well, maybe it's not that. Maybe Sutton does have an in with Kyle. I think Garcelle was trying to antagonize the situation a little bit under the guise of, I'm trying to help you. Because I think she feels a way that Kyle and Sutton, albeit a very strange relationship, have one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that upsets Garcelle, because who else in the cast is she friends with? Sutton can say she's friends with Kyle and Garcelle and Jennifer. Garcelle can't really do that.
Well, and like Garcelle shouldn't feel like a tier 2 friend.
Yeah, nobody should feel like that.
No, like you're only my friend because you can't be friends with her. Like that's BS. That doesn't feel good.
That's high school. And I think that especially these ladies are this is not an age shaming thing, you guys.
But we're talking about grown women.
We're all too old. Even me at 31, we're all too old to have relationships and friendships like that. They always say as you get older, your friend group gets like smaller and smaller and smaller because you have the more quality as opposed to the quantity of those friends. And I feel like in this situation, I do think that Garcelle is kind of pushed to the side. And I think Garcelle does not have a real friend in the group if something happens with her and Sutton. And I think that also crossed her mind, because how fun is it going to be to film another season when right now you feel a certain way about this woman, which you can tell Garcelle does. You're not really in the best place with the rest of the women.
Yeah.
What, you're going to be on an island. Who wants to do that?
I totally receive. If I was Garcelle, I already know how next season's playing out. She is going to be by herself on an island. In Kern, I don't know Garcelle, so everything we're saying is speculation on what we're watching. So if you have insight from her, definitely let me know. But I'm just watching the show, and I truly feel like Garcelle she already clocked what was going to happen next season. It was going to be everybody against her, so she's like, nah, I'm good. Our friendship is already fractured. So why am I going to put myself through that? Why would I? No, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Plus, look at what happened with Denise, another one of her friends. Like the way they treated Denise she doesn't need this in her life. Exactly. Garcelle is gorgeous. She's talented. She's got a work ethic, but more importantly, she's got a very, very good reputation in Hollywood.
Exactly.
She stays booked. She keeps on getting hired by like the same network to keep on working on things. That means that people like working with you. You're reliable. All the boxes are checked that they want her back. She does not need this.
She doesn't.
I agree. And I also think too, like, I think that Garcelle has seen this play out way too many times with other castmates where they have been like the center of the focus and the attack, and they've been on the island, and sure, they've mucked through it. But I think that Garcelle is like, I'm not here for it right now. I don't need it. I don't want to do it. I love that Andy Cohen told her that she can always come back. But before we move on to what the fire that Jennifer Tilly started last night, I do want to add one more thing to this. When Garcelle was on Watch What Happens Live and she was asked about Erica, she said, Kerr. And when she was asked about Bozza, she said, I think that she did a great job. I think I would give her a 9, her performance this season. I think that she came in. I think at times she stayed neutral. I think she came in hot, but not too hot. And it was nothing but compliments. I was a little disappointed last night in how Erica and Bozza, not really Erica, but more so Bozza, responded to Garcelle's exit. I was like, that's not cool. She had nothing but great things to say about you. And she didn't have any conflict with you this season. Why are you treating her like that?
I feel like, and as a Black woman, I feel like I can have a little bit more perspective on this. But again, I always want to say that I never speak for all Black women. I just speak for myself. I almost feel like they're going OT on kissing Bozza's ass in spite of Garcelle, because Garcelle makes race a huge point on the show. And I feel like they're going overboard hyping up Bozza to say, see, Garcelle, we're not liking her because she's Black. That's what I feel they're doing on the low. That's my read on that situation, because I've seen a lot of narrative on Twitter since Garcelle's exited saying, Bozza, watch out. They're all going to flip on you now because there can't, be a Black woman on the cast they like. My opinion is that they're being so complimentary of Bozza in spite of Garcelle being on the show. That's my opinion.
Wow. That's interesting. I didn't think about that.
So now it's almost like you can't. So you're pretty much saying that, like, now, if the ladies didn't like Garcelle before, when Garcelle was the only Black woman on the cast, then that could have been perceived as, correct, right, the R word that we don't want to say on YouTube. But then now that Bozza is in here, they can sit there and they can be all about Bozza, and now that gives them sort of an out to be able to attack Garcelle, because it's like, well, we're not actually that. Look, we're friends. I mean,
Dorit, whose mom's best friend is Black, is best friends with Bozza, and now they're like, I don't think Dorit did this calculated, and if she did, I accept. I might look at the world with rose-colored glasses. I would hope Dorit didn't purposely attach herself onto Bozza to correct the narrative from last season, because Dorit was in the hot seat for being prejudiced or whatever, or being in her own bubble. I would hope she wouldn't attach herself to Bozza strictly for that. I feel like they have a real friendship, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of using Bozza as they're not using her. It's just it works to their advantage to have Bozza.
Yes, there you go. That's a good way to put it.
Yesterday on Watch What Happens Live after the episode, when they were doing the polls, and anytime it was anything about Bozza gets so many more likes. It was like, who gets more likes on Instagram? And Bozza, like, by a mile, gets more than anybody else. I think every one of these Beverly Hills women, I think it's just kind of a bred thing into what Hollywood is. But I think they're also opportunistic. In addition to what you said, Imani, that I didn't clock, but I think the fact that they all want clout and recognition, the fact that they can attach themselves to Bozza, who is that girl, it's easy.
We saw this on Ultimate Girls Trip when Heather Gay was on with Portia Williams. Remember how they were all excited because Portia had this big following and they all wanted to be friends with Portia? It worked to the advantage with like the numbers, the clout. I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about it's sort of like this come up, like I saw where Khloe Kardashian in her podcast was talking about Ozempic, and she made a reference to the girl from Salt Lake City, which was Heather Gay. Heather is salivating at the mouth that Khloe Kardashian made that. You know what I mean?
100%. This is going to be Heather's storyline.
By the way, Khloe, I was the one on the phone call, so give me a ring. No, I'm just kidding. But back to it, though. I see what you're saying. I was disappointed in that moment with the Bozza of it all, but I've had conversations with Bozza, and she's kind of clocked me in some things too. And I love Garcelle, but we'll come back to this. What I wanted to talk about was last night when they were getting ready to go out. You see the ladies are getting ready and everybody's kind of getting glammed, and Jennifer Tilly decides to have a conversation with Sutton. And she presents this idea that Erica and Dorit were sort of dovetailing off of each other with what they were delivering, and that they might have concocted this attack, is what they were calling it. Like they came together to do this attack. Now, Erica, in my opinion, really made this dramatic.
Agreed.
Like and we'll get to it, but what were your thoughts? Because I've seen this so many times. I saw it when they did it to Monique Samuels after Andy Cohen's baby shower, when they tried to make the paternity of her son a storyline. We have seen this, and even Fallon Gobadia, who Portia took her husband, when I sat down and I flew to Atlanta to sit down with her, Fallon was giving me all of the tea about how they sit down, and in order to stay on these shows, be popular on these shows, and remain on them, you got to be a chess player. You have to know what you're walking into, and you have to be able to deliver it like it's authentic and organic. It's like a talent.
I agree with you 100%. I get the someone also brought up a good point. That's fair. If somebody fed it to Jennifer to say it, that's interesting. I could see a world where that happened.
Because the episode was boring with that included. Imagine how boring this would have been without that.
Yeah. So,
oh my God, that is a good point, because maybe that's why Erica was also just so extra about it.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that's the likelier of the situation, honestly.
Definitely clock that.
Yeah, that's insightful. What was your original question though, Adam?
I was hit on the head.
That's my excuse.
I have MS. I have 11 legions on my brain. I can't speak for you, Imani.
Oh my, you asked us something, but then that comment was like, I think that's why Jennifer brought it up. Did you ask why?
I asked, do you think that they did concoct this? Like, do you think that this was an orchestrated attack?
I don't think Erica bringing it up on the boat and Dorit chiming in was an orchestrated attack. I think Dorit was just like, I co-sign that. Do I think that all of them get on the same page, that are in the same alliance? Yes. That's why Garcelle's upset at Sutton, because her and Sutton had an alliance to go against the women. Now Sutton's switching up and Garcelle's upset. I think people do have those conversations. If Ashely and I were going into a situation, I'm like, Ashely, what's our PR on this? Like, where do we align? If you don't like someone, I don't like someone. That's just me as a person. So I think they do. I just don't think in that specific instance, Erica and Dorit planned the gang up on Sutton on the boat. I don't think so.
No, I kind of agree with that. I think that they probably have had these conversations, and when opportunity presents itself, it's like, okay, well, I wasn't really going to bring this up, but since she did, maybe let's just talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think it was orchestrated.
I have to say, my mind is kind of blown after Stephanie saying that production is the one who kind of fed that to Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly is new to this. She was probably, she's an actress. She's like on real sets. She might not know exactly how this works. This feels very last scene of Vanderpump Rules, when the producer, I don't remember his name, said to Lala, like, no, say it. And that's Jeremiah. Right. They needed that in that scene. And I feel like, you know how that kind of ruined Vanderpump Rules?
Yeah.
I feel like last night, I feel that this show doesn't have a bright future after the way we left off yesterday.
We need a revamp.
We need
something.
I know I get jumped for this. Bring Crystal Kung Minkoff back and bring Tracy Tudor. Them two against Dorit and Kyle, I would love to see it.
I would love to add, we need Christine Hawk from HGTV and her 3 ex-husbands, and she's friends with Kelly Dodd. She knows a lot of people. We need these women. We need new people, but keep Bose.
And keep Kyle. I think Kyle is Beverly Hills. If they got Kyle off the show, it would be a completely different show in general.
Like, I agree. And I'm not a Kyle fan, but I agree.
I think on all of these franchises, to include Southern Charm, to include Summer House, you need an anchor. You can't revamp the entire cast, aka Roni. It will not work. You need an anchor. Chrissy Teigen, LOL.
I think Chrissy Teigen would never, but no. I do, and I wish she wouldn't have moved to Texas, because I think that she would have been great on Housewives, and I think that she would.
You're going to say Christine Quinn, aren't you?
Christine Quinn would have everyone clocked. She's a good villain.
She would be a good Rinna replacement, but I think Tracy Tudor's great too, and she knows how the production of it all works. She's very familiar. But I do think that Crystal Kung Minkoff, and we need one good villain. Like we do need that person who's going to come in, the person who will go toe-to-toe with Erica, the person who's not afraid of anything. And that was kind of my problem with Lisa Rinna too, is Lisa Rinna wanted to hold everybody accountable. But with Erica, which was like the biggest conversation, it was just like, can you guys leave her alone? Like, it's really messed up that you guys are attacking Erica. It's like, what the fuck? You attack everybody for like nothing. This is actually really happening. What are you talking about?
You literally, granted, you carried the bone for LVP, but you literally made Yolanda's health a huge issue. And like, why was that okay? You know what I mean? So it's, you know what? Speaking of Eileen, I will say, I think she was great watching it in hindsight, because she did hold everyone accountable, even if she was your friend. Like, she did hold Dorit accountable. She held Lisa Rinna accountable. Like she was a really good voice of reason, and she had a good head on her shoulders, and I appreciated that.
God, Eileen Davidson is an icon. Mind you, I grew up like in the days of soap operas. And she was on Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives. And she played like multiple characters on both shows. That woman is a brilliant, brilliant actress. What she does at soap opera acting, this is top notch. I'm a huge fan, and she was a great housewife.
It might be an unpopular opinion. I did not love her as a housewife. I really, really didn't. Maybe a brilliant actor. Yes, maybe. But also, that's why this is great, because we get to come together and we don't have to agree on everything.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll say this. When I first watched Beverly Hills, I didn't like Eileen, but I recently rewatched it. And I was like, I looked at it differently. I didn't think Lisa Rinna was as heinous as I remembered her watching it back. And I don't think Eileen was as boring watching it back as I did initially. So my perception has changed on the dramas when I went back like last couple months and rewatched.
Okay, so last night too, once Jennifer Tilly came into the group, I love, by the way, the fact that they're all glammed up, and well, I mean, at the end of the night, like they're all glammed up, they're all getting ready to go out, and Kyle asked Kathy Hilton, "What are you wearing? A t-shirt and shorts?"
And she did.
And I love her for it. And the fact that she had 2 plastic bags full of ice because she was hot. Like, bring the woman in a box fan, you guys. Like, that's Kathy MFing Hilton.
And she put them under her armpits, and she came with no makeup. She was just like,
and she peed herself. She's brilliant.
She's like, I just don't give a shit about what you guys can all try hard. She's like, I don't have to try. I'm just.
And shout out for normalizing women of a certain age, just kind of peeing a little bit from here and there, because it happens.
And I appreciate that, because Adam or whoever said it earlier in the live when we were talking about, like, I think it's different when the person doesn't need the show and that they could be more authentically them, because Kathy Hilton does not need Bravo. She does not need The Real House of Beverly Hills. And that's why she's authentically herself. And I think that's interesting.
For Tilly.
But then I did want to say this too last night with Kathy being so absent. I didn't love that either. I'm not going to lie, because I enjoy her little tidbits. Like, I kind of wish Erica would have let her talk when Erica got so nasty with her. I wish that there were moments that we could have heard her a little bit more or seen more of her, or she would have brought something. It kind of seemed like she was just there and like, okay, well, whatever's going on, where's the little girl's room? I'm just going to go over here.
You know what's interesting to that point too? They did kind of shut Kathy down a lot more this season than they've had, because I feel like they respected her more and they would let her get away with saying, you know, things that maybe they wouldn't allow for the other housewives. But even at that dinner yesterday, like, when Kathy was trying to like jump in the conversation, Erica was like, let me finish. She tried to check on Sutton at that like night market thing. And Sutton was like, let me be a Barbie. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So maybe they're kind of not holding.
I think they're jaded on the Hilton name now. At first it was like this big, like, oh, it's Kathy Hilton. And now they're just like, it's Kathy Hilton.
I honestly love seeing Erica say no to Kathy yesterday, especially on last week after Kathy was bossing everybody around, telling them, especially Bozza, and that was like her way of becoming like queen bee on the hierarchy. Like, I'm going to boss everybody around. I'm just going to sit here and let everybody do everything for me. And I think they're over it. And I love that. But like Kathy, like that's Kathy Hilton.
I was about to say, I don't think she's doing it on purpose. I just think that's her lifestyle. And that's her. She's like a creature of habit.
100%. What did you guys think about, first of all, Kyle Richards is the queen of impressions. I love whenever she does impressions on the cast. She's so good. And I died at her Jennifer Tilly impression. But Sutton was so weird during that scene when like Erica was pretending to be Southern. Well, she is Southern, but when she was putting on Sutton's accent, like Sutton was being very weird and like cosplaying herself. I'm like, what's happening in this scene?
She was pissed. She's like, you're not gonna clown me. She already didn't want to be there. She felt like she was awkwardly walking around. She's like, what am I supposed to do? I don't want to be here, but I'm not gonna let these women win. And I agreed with everything that Bo said. She's like, wait a minute. What are we doing here? Because the whole premise of the show is conflict resolution. Like, we have this issue. We're coming together. Now is our time to talk. We're on a beautiful trip. We're
Mhm.
here. I've put all of this together. Let's have a conversation. But Sutton continuously, if it does not go her way, she throws a tantrum. When the going gets tough, the Sutton gets going. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh my God, I
Oh,
love that.
yesterday was so embarrassing. Honestly, it was so embarrassing to watch.
No, I was
Yeah.
so embarrassed.
I just like I find Sutton. I want Sutton to stay on the show. I like what she does for the show. I'm starting to find her more and more annoying. This season was not a good season. It wasn't a
No.
good look for her. She just came off like such a brat. And I even think that Jennifer Tilly, I love when on the boat, she's like, God, what I learned from this is that these women really don't like you. And she's like,
I love her for saying that. Like, that's the friend you need. Like, she said it like in a way that was like, I'm kind of joking, but I'm not. Like, we need to
Right.
have this. Like, she said it like, wow, I can't believe how much these women don't like you. And these women don't like her. And it shows. Like, thank God she said it.
You know, go ahead,
oh,
Adam.
go ahead.
No,
you go
you're
ahead.
good. Okay. I feel for Jennifer, and because it is intimidating going into this cast when so many of the women are like this unit, you know, Dorit, Sutton, and Dorit, Sutton, nope, Dorit, Kyle, and Erica. Like
Yeah.
they're impenetrable. So I feel for her because it's like, how can you be successful on the show if you're not in that inner circle? Because at the end of the day, Kyle and Dorit, they might be strained, but I feel like they're always going to have each other's backs, and they're not going to be as intensely upset with each other as they would somebody else. So I understood what Jennifer was saying. It's like, it's intimidating to enter this cast at this point.
Well, I'm also curious to see if Jennifer Tilly comes back, because I know that Jennifer and Sutton have this great relationship where they travel, they explore the world, they love fashions, good foods, couture, all of the things. I get that. And they have this like beautiful friendship outside of the show. But so did Portia and Shamia. Now, when you start bringing people into this dynamic, and it's completely different, and you see other things that are going on, you see a different version of somebody. It's like when somebody's on their best behavior, yeah, they're pleasant. But then when you back them in a corner, you might not like that version of that person. And Jennifer, I think, is getting a different version of Sutton. I don't think that Sutton's going to Paris shopping couture, shutting down fashion houses while they're giving her champagne and she's spending millions of dollars and acting like an asshole to everybody. I think that she's probably fantastic to be around because she's probably in the best mood.
Right.
This is not the same.
I think they really need Jennifer Tilly. I mean, I would have always wanted her as a full-time housewife anyway, because she's amazing, iconic.
Ashley has always loved her.
But I've loved her since I was a kid. Like, I'm a horror girly. Like, she's Tiffany Valentine. She's the bride of Chucky in the Child's Play movies. Like, she was in Bullets Over Broadway. She's so iconic. If you guys haven't watched Bullets Over Broadway, it was like meta before meta was meta. Like, it's amazing. Anyway, Jennifer doesn't need this show, but we need her. And I think this is the time we need her as a full-time housewife, because otherwise it's literally Sutton on her own. And I hate gang ups. And even though Sutton rubbed me so wrong, I really did not enjoy watching Sutton this year. That's why I think if Sutton comes back, we need Jennifer Tilly more than ever.
I'm not a fan of gang ups either, but I think that Sutton has, I think that you make your bed, you lie in it. I think that Sutton has created this for herself. I think that she came in really strong with everybody else, and that allowed them to come in really strong with her. She doesn't like it. She can give it. She can't receive it. And if they do gang up on her, which again, I don't like them either, but I can completely, I can watch that and be like, I don't love it, but I understand it. And I think by the way, another thing that they have in common, they are both great with divorce attorneys.
Oh, I love that little tidbit Jennifer dropped. I had no idea that's how that happened.
Amazing.
Did she say 350,000 or 150?
I think it was
350 initially, and then that person was like, "You need to hire a divorce lawyer."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Did you get the 300?"
Sounds like a lot of money, but not when you're talking The Simpsons.
Yeah, they're like, "Did you get the 350?" She's like, "No, I got a piece of The Simpsons."
Yeah, I loved that moment. I'm like, "You better tell them." I'm like, "Yes, this is amazing." I love that. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Jennifer Tilly's not coming back as a full-time housewife next season. I don't know why. I just feel like she won't.
She's too good for this.
I hope I'm wrong, because I did like getting to know her, and I appreciate her, and I love I'm not a horror girly by any means, but I just appreciated Jennifer. To me, was the best world of like being so wealthy, but also very down to earth. Like, obviously, there was a few things she's out of touch with. Sure, she's been living with Simpsons money for however many years, but Jennifer seems like an attainable person. Like, you could have a dinner with her. You know what I mean? Like, she just seems like a very down to earth person that just happens to have a ton of money.
Yeah. I love too that she just acknowledged, she's like, I just lived this fabulous life now. And she's like, I'm just going to do it, you know?
Yeah.
But after the night with the dinner, before we get into like the gorgeous outfits, after the night of the dinner, we see where they pair Bose and Sutton to make chocolate. This is when you really, really realize there is no friendship there. There was no authentic friendship. It's so uncomfortable. It's awkward. Bose is trying to have a conversation with her. Sutton is still not realizing that she has the superiority complex with the way that she's like, honestly, Bose, I think that I get it. I look at their lives and they look at my life, and it's like they're jealous. And it puts it in perspective. And Bose is like, girl, that is not the point. The point is you're acting like a mean girl. You're acting like a villain, and then you're a victim. The point is not your wallet. We have been saying this to you before we came on this trip.
Right. And by
Right.
the way, I'm sure someone else called it out, Zoanne. I would argue Erica probably is, I don't know, jealous of Sutton. I think she's jealous of the marriage and like how it ended, because I was watching the after show and Erica was saying, you know, I always could reconcile with Tom no longer and I being married. Like, he's 33 years older than me. I already knew I'd be living on this planet a lot longer without Tom. She's like, I could receive that. I could not receive how our marriage ended the way it did, and like tragically and quick and chaotic. She was like, that I never reconciled. And so I think that's, I think she has a little bit of bitterment there. I mean, like, I would too. I married this man for 20 years. He was so much older than me. I don't want to say she wasted the best years of her life, because right now Erica's on top and she's killing it, and age is just a number, totally. But I'm like, wow. Yeah, 100%. But wow, you wasted 20 years with Tom and you got nothing out of that. That sucks. She didn't even get like $1,000, you know? So like, that sucks. And meanwhile, Sutton gets $300,000 a month.
What?
$500,000 a month?
That's before taxes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought that was with, I thought the $300,000 was the alimony, and then there was like another $200,000 in the businesses and like it's not residuals because it's not an acting job, but like the money that comes in from the other bit, like the baseball.
Maybe you're right.
That could be. But either which way, Erica's getting nothing. In fact, she's probably doling out lawyer fees still each month. So I feel for her. That sucks.
I don't even look at this as like I don't even think it's an insult to be jealous of Jennifer Tilly or Sutton's divorce settlement. I don't think that means that you're jealous of the person. I think that it's like, oh man, like that would have been nice to be left in that situation. Like, I'm jealous of that divorce situation. I've never even been divorced.
Like,
me too.
Like,
I'd get divorced if I could get that settlement. No offense.
No, sorry, George.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, man.
No, but seriously, that's a very human thing. And I almost wish that Erica opened up about that. Like, I kind of wish she said that to her. She's like, son, I'm not jealous of you. Be clear. I wish I came out of my marriage a little bit better than I, left it. And that's a normal, valid human reaction.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's human. It'd be weird not to say it. Like, she's being honest.
And I know that this wasn't in the finale too, though, but I do think, again, another Judice analogy, you guys.
People are going to come for you, Adam, if you keep talking about the Judice.
It's just on the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
But I think that we talked about this last week. I think that people can very easily, and I think a lot of us do it, live above our means. I feel like Dorit Kemsley is definitely one of them. I'm just going to share this really quick. I saw this. Thank you to Bravo Snarkside. I did not love this when they were talking about going back and forth when Dorit was with Garcelle, talking about money. And Dorit brought up the fact that like you're kind of insinuating or intimating that this robbery was pre-planned by somebody in our camp, you and 4 other people on Twitter, which that was not the case. It was like the whole world.
No, it was actually kind of everybody.
Yeah, it was like raised eyebrows. But then when she sat there and said this about like, girl, you're not exactly the Queen of Sheba. Your house is on a main road. I got kind of annoyed by that because of the financial situations that they're in. And also on top of that, her dream was to one day have a beach house. The woman has no man who's paying for it. Nobody who's sitting there sending her, you know, alimony checks or anything like that. That's not happening. And she built her dream house. I don't care if it's on the crappiest beach in the United States of America. She wanted a house on the beach. It's absolutely stunning. She made it happen, and she didn't need somebody to do it for her.
Are you talking about everything. Garcelle?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't take that toward Garcelle. I thought Dorit was saying that towards Sutton.
I thought she was too, and everybody ran with it. This was towards Garcelle after the whole, I think what they're saying is that Garcelle brought up the pre-foreclosure. I can't wait to see the reunion.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I immediately thought it was Sutton too.
I think what they were saying, and if you don't know LA that well, because Garcelle's house is in Ventura, not Malibu, but Malibu, like, so it goes like Venice, Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades, and then you get up to Venice, or I'm sorry, up to Malibu. So once you're all the way up in Malibu, the next city is Ventura. So Garcelle lives in Ventura, and I think that's why they were like, it's a main road, because Ventura is where like normal people live, but it's also like right next to Malibu. Why would you pay 20 times to live right on Malibu when you could live a mile that way on a main road? Pacific Coast Highway.
When did becoming a homeowner become weaponized as an insult?
Seriously, I will always champion Garcelle because she did that for herself, and I don't know what her alimony is, Garcelle's, to be fair.
I don't think she gets any payments
if
anymore.
she even gets anything.
No.
But good for her. She built her beach house. That's hard to do in California. To your point, I don't care if it's in wherever it's at. You're on the beach.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
To be able to walk the beach and like live in that and do that in the way that she like what she did that.
If somebody's insulting Garcelle for living in Ventura and not Malibu, but we're not talking about Kyle living in Encino, a half hour away from Beverly Hills. Come on, child.
Well, who's in Beverly Hills?
Sutton, Kathy.
Sutton and Kathy.
Right. And they're even in Bel Air, which is like the highest part of Beverly Hills. Like,
well, I don't know where Bozza
is to Bel Air.
Where is Bozza's? I know that she had the Malibu house that burned down in the fires, but where is her other house located?
I don't know exactly where her house is other than the one that burned, unfortunately.
Okay. Oh, Jennifer Tilly also lives in, she lives in Bel Air, but
Jennifer does? Okay.
Yeah.
There's just the two houses, the one she films in, and then the gerbil one that she actually lives in. And she has one in Vegas here with me. Hit me up, Jennifer.
And she has one in Malibu that she doesn't go to because it's haunted.
Julia, I don't think Garcelle's house was burned down. Bozza's was in Malibu. I didn't hear about Garcelle. Did you guys?
No, Garcelle's home's fine. Thank God.
Yeah.
I know. Thank God.
Yeah, we don't wish that for anybody.
No. Okay, so I completely misread that reunion moment. I totally thought Dorit was saying that towards Sutton, in Sutton's home being on a main road. So I misread that.
Well, then again, so did I, but maybe we didn't. We haven't seen the reunion because that's
the thing, because editing, they could have just pieced together different conversations. Like they have to, that's what a preview is. It's literally clippings of different conversations.
They Franken edit shit together. Trust me, I have been a victim.
Yes.
Definitely.
So
I'm curious though, from the reunion, I'm curious if Kyle opened up more about Morgan, because I thought it was interesting, LOL, when Kathy told her daughters that she's a lesbian too, to kind of like make it better for Kyle. I'm like, oh my God.
And then Daddy Andy even Daddy is upset with Kyle. She's like, but you were like romantic lovers in a music video. Like he even said, you want your cake and eat it too. I was like, can we have some more lesbian jokes, please? And thank you.
Not you want your cake and eat it. Oh my God.
Oh, wait. I didn't clock that as like a sexual thing. That's so funny.
I wanted to, when I saw that, I was dying because he knew Andy. I got to give Andy a 10 out of 10 for this little performance here. One with the meme, like, like, Kyle, did PK send you the meme about?
Oh, that was hilarious.
I was just like, oi. And then when he knew he was not going to get an answer about Morgan from Kyle, he knew. But he also knows that Kathy's just sort of aloof. And he's like, Kathy. And she's like, oh, yeah. I just wanted to make Kyle feel better about being a lesbian. So I just told my daughters, maybe I could be a lesbian too. I don't know.
I mean, I appreciate that. Like, that's nice of her, I guess.
I love it. I love Kathy.
An interesting note, Kyle and Morgan are currently in Paris together. Again, I know friends can travel together. Love that. I've done that myself. But I want more information. And I know we say this every time, but I want more information. And I need Kyle to admit it to herself and then admit it to us. So then we can have closure.
That kind of just got swept through the media. And in tasteofreality.com, I don't know if I published it yesterday or the day before, but towards the end of the article, there was a link. When Kyle and Morgan both just happened to be in South Africa, Kyle had like a booth at a festival that Morgan was playing at. They went on a safari together, and I'm pretty sure it was Face Reality 16 on Instagram who saw it. Kyle is videotaping a safari, literally in the car, and you literally see Morgan bent down to be out of the frame. So they're like just literally, I mean, it's just so insulting. She literally was in the frame hiding. Like, we wouldn't see her. And of course, Face Reality 16 is the best, especially with Kyle's stuff. But she clocked it. Yeah. She's like, look, there's Morgan. And Morgan's like hunched over in the back. Like, you're both in South Africa. We all know you're both in South Africa. Own it.
Here's my thing.
We don't even have to guess at this point.
Yeah. If Morgan was never on the show, it wasn't like a huge point. Like, then I would be like, okay, I don't know what's happened. But like, they went out of their way to like be seen with paparazzi. Kyle has born and raised in this town. She knows Beverly Hills. She knows how to be seen. How many times have you seen Beyonce and her children at Erewhon or whatever? You never see it because when you're living in LA, you know where to go and how not to be seen. That's just how it is. I live in Florida, furthest away you could get, and I know that. And so I feel like you're just playing with us, and then you're getting mad at Garcelle. That's what I'll say, and I'll miss Garcelle about. If she were not on the cast, would Morgan have even been brought up? Because Kyle said to them, please don't talk about Morgan. And Erica was like, you got it. I will not mention her name. And she didn't. But would we even have that storyline furthered at all? Probably not. Christine Quinn would have been on her neck.
Oh.
Christine Quinn had the money. I don't know what she's getting in this divorce settlement. I don't know what that settlement looked like because I know he financially cut her off. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they had a prenup or what, but I think that she still has good money and stuff like that. But I think that she just has this ability to be like, yeah, my life's a shit show. I put it all out there. Let's talk about yours. That's what I'm saying. It's like that. And she can deliver the fashions. I'm just saying.
Guys, it's true because I feel like Christine and Erica Jane are very similar in a lot of ways, but Christine doesn't come in hateful and mean. Like, she's petty and bitchy, and there's a difference. And I think Christine would eat Erica Jane alive.
And Erica does this. So what I want to know is which one did it? Was it you? Or was it you? And Jennifer Tilly's looking at her like
a game show. Is this like?
Yeah. Was it you or was it you? Jennifer Tilly's like, girl, get your finger out of my face.
I know. It was me with the candlestick in the library.
Jennifer, can you imagine Jennifer Tilly comes out with like a little puppet of like the little Chucky bride and she's like, it was me.
Oh my God. It was Tiffany. It probably was Tiffany Valentine.
No, wait, it was Tiffany. If she would have said that, the table would have erupted. It was.
Oh my God. Amazing.
I would have died.
I hope Tiffany goes to the reunion.
I think that's valid.
I think they should have sat Tiffany. And can we talk about this? It's just, okay, I feel like my grandmother's saying this. I am getting older, as we all are every day. These women are gorgeous. Their bodies are beautiful. Like, I just don't need to see everybody's bits.
I That didn't offend me much. I get your point.
I'm not offended. Like, it's their bodies and they're beautiful and they have absolutely every right to show and do what they want with their body. It is none of my business. Women have every choice to do what they want with their bodies, period, end of sentence. With that said, I'm like, well, now I think of these women and I'm like thinking of like the crease line of where their vagina meets their upper leg.
No, to be clear, I 100% was analyzing their bodies. Like internally, I would never say anything about it, but I 100% was looking at, I was like, Bose, if I looked like you, FYI, if I looked like Erica Jane, I would wear that to the grocery store. That is what I would wear to the grocery store.
You would have to go through the aisles like this, like
no,
Kyle.
And
to
I'd
go
be like,
grocery shopping in that.
This is my civvies. This is how I look day to day. And you guys all have to look at it because I'm 55 and I look better than most people in their 20s. And that's valid.
I noticed when
Kieran, I get it. It's carnival. I understand the cultural thing. I'm from New Orleans. I grew up going to Mardi Gras. Like, I understand the cultural thing. It's just when like camera angles are that close at your parts. That was just, it was a lot for me.
You know, and also too, I don't know why they emphasize this, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it's something that it just like drives me insane. If I'm out in public or if I'm at the gym and I see people scratching their crotch, I just think or picking at their crotch or pulling at things. Like I hate it. And I was watching towards the end when they like Bose and Dorit locked arms and they were dancing like, ha, 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 ha. Okay. But then she kept on picking the thong and like adjusting and adjusting and adjusting. And I'm like, why are we emphasizing?
No, true. It was definitely cringe.
But
I'm not
been better in photos.
The outfits. I actually love the outfits, and I love that each person did what they wanted to do. Like Kathy was like,
they all look great.
Yeah, Kathy was like, "You're not going to catch me in one of those." Jennifer Tilly was like, "I'm going to own this shit." Kyle looked phenomenal, and honestly, Bose, like again,
how is she a real person? Like she is like a literal doll. Like how is Bose real?
Like skin flawless, smooth, good for her.
Can I say something about Bozza's reunion look? I think Bozza's reunion look was so poignant in the fact that this is a woman who is taking up space in the best way possible. Not only is she a tall, statuesque, gorgeous human being, but she put her hair up as tall as it can go. She has this gorgeous headpiece, this bow, this flower up at the top of her head. She takes up space in her. When Sutton said you came in strong and she said I am strong,
mic drop.
Shoot it in my veins. I don't have any tattoos. You can tattoo that on me right now.
I love that.
It was actually too, and I think that this is interesting because the first time that I met Cynthia Bailey was at Beverly Hills, and I've met a lot of housewives, and I remember I met her and Nene, and I just remember being so like, I didn't realize how tall the women were from Atlanta. I've met Portia, I've met Nene, I've met Cynthia, and they are so like there's such a presence, right? And then you see like Kyle, when I saw her at BravoCon, she's so little and she's just like running around and she's like this big, and you know, even Sutton, she's like really, really tiny and like this big. And then I see Bose and I'm like, I cannot wait to meet you, even though I know you're gonna tower over me. I feel like you're gonna have such a presence, and nobody is going to question where you are, who you are. Like you are just a presence.
Did you guys see her on the Tonight Show?
Yeah.
Bose.
No, I didn't.
Oh
I didn't watch it, but I saw like photos.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't watch the Tonight Show, but I do watch clips, and Bose was incredible. The way that Jimmy like listed her resume and the way that the audience was going nuts for her, and she was just like, yeah, I did all that.
Yeah, so
it was amazing.
I want an informational interview with Bose. Like, I just want to sit down because, like, her career is just so wonderful, and I'm obsessed with Bose. And Ashely, I thought that was really important that you brought up, because for me, I'm 5'6", 5'7", and my height has always been an insecurity of mine, and I appreciate she takes up every bit of that room, both personality wise. She embraces her height, she embraces her body type, which, you know, people have talked crap on. And I'm just like, she is so unapologetically herself and so confident. I bet Lael, her daughter, is just so self-assured as well. Like, to be raised by a woman like Bozza is such a treat. And I hope we can see more of her. And I would love to meet her someday to just like talk to her about being a badass woman in this industry. And I love her addition, and hats off to Bozza.
And I'm not gonna, this is not shaming on anybody, because I remember, and I'm not making this about myself at all, but I remember like, like right now I'm going through like this whole, health sort of journey kind of situation. But when I was younger, I got really like, my parents went to go get me, my dad went to go get me jeans for Christmas. They didn't fit. They brought them back to try them on and then wrapped them under the Christmas tree. And I was supposed to unwrap them and be like, jeans. And then, like they didn't fit. So then they went back, replaced them. They didn't fit. Went back, replaced them. They didn't fit, because I was going through that awkward stage. And I was like, no, this is not going to happen. So I got obsessed with weight loss, and everybody said, dudes don't do that. That's like a girl thing. Girls do that. And then I think about one of the cast members on Beverly Hills who's not on there anymore. And one of her only family storylines was her daughter having this eating disorder and this struggle with her body and herself. And she was stunning. She's a supermodel, right? And then you have somebody like Bozza, who is statuesque. She's tall, she's curvy, and she's like, I don't give a shit if you like it or not. This is my body and I love it. And here I am. And that level of confidence, if you could bottle that,
and I
that's
think
something you can't teach. Like,
correct.
She owns who she is in a way that so many of us could only wish.
And I wonder if Sutton has a little bit of insecurity when it comes to Bozza as well, because I don't know if Sutton's the most self-assured person, and that's no tea, no shade. We all struggle with that. But like, she didn't come in strong. She came in herself, and she's a strong woman.
Dude,
what about you?
The way she served Sutton with that, like, and the thing is, it's not a serve. She was being honest. She literally clocked Sutton so hard to where Sutton, like, literally, like, I could feel the gulp, like the.
No, she was gagged.
Like, gooped gagged.
Yeah. And it reminds me of that quote, and I live by this quote because, again, like, I just relate a lot to Bozza in some ways. But there's a quote, I've always felt like I was like too much of a person. And so there was a quote that is, if I'm too much for you, go find less. And I feel like that's Bozza. Like, she's like, if I'm too much for you, if I'm too tall, if I'm too loud, if I'm too big, then come up with me. Be better too. Elevate yourself.
It's kind of like the actual, it's like the better version of what Ramona tried to say with her tagline of like, I'm an acquired taste. If you don't like me, acquire some taste. Like, okay, well, maybe that's not what we were looking for, but with like Bozza, it like lands a little bit different, because it is true. And speaking of which, since I think that we kind of attacked most of the things, aside from the fact that Erica at the end sat down with Kyle and she talked about, Girardi facing 80 years in prison. And she's like, this man doesn't even have 80 days, like that, which clearly, since he has had 80 days. So we're past that.
Really quick, what do you guys think? Like, do you think Tom should go to, like, what do you think should happen in that situation? Because, like, I know he's currently awaiting, like, a mental evaluation as well to serve his sentencing. So is it worth it?
I mean, they put people in jail just to take them out so quickly. I mean, just put the man on house arrest. I know that doesn't feel, but like, he's not with his mind anyway. Like, I don't think punishing him, I don't think cognitively he's aware enough to even know, like.
And do you know how much money it costs for one person to be incarcerated? Not to make
that's
that
what
this is about. But I'm just like, is that really how we want to spend our tax-paying dollars at this point? Like,
well, and it's not like they're correcting anything it's not like there's like correctional things happening in prison. And even if there was, what is that going to do? He's going to die. He's going to die soon.
Well, and to that point too, I think that like yeah, I get that. I guess that's more so of a question. I think it's more of the victims of Girardi who probably have that like just disgust for him, that disdain, and they're like, stick his ass in a cell and we just want to see him rot in there. I think that they're the ones who probably have those more harsh opinions and not looking at it from like taxpayers' dollars. I think that I think the victims are probably not compartmentalizing the two. I think it's more they're leading in with emotion because this has been such a journey for them.
That's
and they
fair.
Yeah.
That 100% that's fair. But I mean, he's
But I get
rotting
what you're
right
saying.
now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I'm not even going to get into like the justice system of it all. I just don't know what him going to jail for 3 months is. That's not justice to me. I hope they get their money. I don't know how they do.
Right. That would be justice, is them getting their money back.
Well, the
And you not
creditors get
putting
it
any-
first.
Okay.
And then the victims, because I had Emily D. Baker on with me and love her. By the way, guys, we're going to BravoCon together. So if you guys see me,
Oh, fun! I met her at BravoCon
you'll
last year.
Yeah, you guys will see Emily. But what I was gonna say is, it's the creditors first. They take priority, and then after that, whatever money's left that they were able to get their hands on, it depends on. It's the order of which victims filed in first.
Okay.
And whoever got in there first, that's the person who goes. It doesn't matter if you had the oldest lawsuit or the most recent lawsuit. It's who filed it first. And then they kind of trickle down. And then once they run out of money from the till and there's no money left, whoever's left, it's kind of like, sorry, you got bamboozled. This sucks.
Yeah.
And we wish you the best. But
Mhm.
I did want to ask.
Layla, thank you. Sorry, she said I remind her of Bozza's daughter. I will take that.
Ooh, yes.
And the money that comes with it. And the wisdom.
100%.
What I was
I'm
gonna-
going to pivot for a second, Adam, just because the people in the comments have asked. I didn't see it today, but they asked the last couple times. And since we're talking Beverly Hills, and I'm a 90210 girly. Beverly Hills 90210 is my favorite show of all time. And I love Tori Spelling. And you have a Tori Spelling story that you teased and you didn't say, and people want to know, and I am part of people. Like you said something about Tori Spelling a few episodes ago, and you said like maybe you had like a bad experience with her or something.
No, I didn't say that.
You said so. Okay, well, hopefully somebody pops in the comments because there was
guys,
like
in the
a
comments,
teaser, and like people were like actively like, when is he going to talk about Tori Spelling? And I'm like, I know, I need to do it. And I almost wore my Tori Spelling shirt or my 90210 shirt today.
No, guys, give me I was hit on the head. Give me context behind what I'll give you context. Let me know what I said, and I'll give you context.
Because we are going to bring this up. Like, I'm sorry I didn't do a very good job of passing this back, but like, we need answers. If there's no story with Tori, Donna Martin graduates. Yes. Do either of you guys know that reference?
Oh, she was on Denise Richards' new show. No, I think I was saying no. Hold on.
You said something about Tori Spelling.
Yeah, I think I said something about her, but I've never met her. No, I used to watch her show, but I never met her. But while they remind us what's going on, I know I'm going to bring up this group photo again, and I know Garcelle's not in it, but I'm going to bring up her look too. I want you guys, and I know this sounds shady, and it's fine. It's Bravo. It's entertainment. It's okay, you guys. They all look beautiful in their own way. But with that, and also this look right here. Hold on. Who is our favorite and least favorite looks?
I'm happy that Garcelle now has hired a good stylist because I think this season she served the best looks. I think this is by far her best reunion look. In terms of who I think's the best dress in this cast or who I resonate with the most, I think Jennifer looks phenomenal. Kyle, I'm a little underwhelmed by. Kathy, good for her. I think Jennifer is my best dress next to Bose and Erica.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to make this a thing. So I did this on TikTok. And I'm going to try until this sticks. I'm going to list taste to waist. Can we put the picture back up? From Taste of Reality, I'm going to declare these looks a taste or a waste. Sutton, that's a waste. Jennifer, taste. If you've ever seen 1995's movie Showgirls, this looks exactly like the Nomi Malone, the goddess costume before they disrobed. Obsessed. Kyle Richards, waist. C3PO, C3PO. No.
Oh no.
Three looks like it maybe looks better up close, but it looks like cheap bride. And no, Bose is perfect. The fabric, the textures, the hair, the heels, everything about Bose is taste. While I do not love Erica's look, that is fashion, that is taste.
Yeah.
And while Kathy Hilton, I absolutely, somebody said saying that something is age appropriate is offensive, and I don't think it is. I think it's a compliment. I think she looks beautiful and age appropriate. I hate when women in their like 40s and 50s, I don't hate it. They can do whatever they want, but it looks like people dressed out of their children's closet. I think Kathy looks stunning. I think it's a beautiful outfit. That's taste.
Adrian, I agree with you. Kyle's dress was similar to Ariana's revenge dress. And when I see so many of the same silhouettes all the time, it's boring to me. Kyle is freaking stunning. I think her body looks killer. I think she looks killer. But this dress is underwhelming to me.
It's awful.
And we've seen it before by Ariana Madix.
Something else, when these women are standing, that's one thing. I think we learned from the Traders reunion and Dolores, her dress was so stunning standing up. Dolores sat down and then it was a mess. Like her breasts were spilling up over the top of the dress. It was a disaster. Yeah. So once we see these dresses sitting down, like just as important as it is to like have a dress you can stand up, like the whole thing is they're sitting down. So let's see how these looks are seated.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But good on Garcelle. This is stunning. Adam, what's your opinion?
I'm gonna go with Garcelle as my favorite, just because it genuinely is my favorite look. I said the same thing about Sutton. I said it's a no. Jennifer Tilly, I'm sorry guys. I'm like indifferent on it.
You're allowed to have your opinion.
Kyle Richards got hers the day before, and I think that shows. I don't think that there was any preparation in this, and she's stunning. Dorit had the most expensive dress at $7,000 for her dress, while the other ladies were like $900.
Oh, girl!
I think that she looks beautiful, but I do think that it's like basic beautiful.
Right.
I didn't like when Bravo first uploaded the photos of the reunion looks. They were blurry, and I wasn't a huge fan of Bozza's look until I saw when she posted it, and I saw how much detail was in it, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is a look."
No,
I think that she killed it. I think that Erica's. I agree with Ashely. I think that it's tasteful, it's fashion, it's glamorous, but I think it's completely underwhelming. And I do agree with Ashely in saying like, age appropriate. You hate saying that, but Kathy does a great job, and I think that this is age appropriate. I still think it's classy as hell, and I think that she delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually going to say my favorite is Bose, because that's a story. While Garcelle's is stunning and by far her best look, Bose has a story. It's culture. It's
100%.
No, this dress, I mean, the way it's cinched in her waist, and then there's like, I don't know how it's cut, but the way that they like pop out at the hips, like, I mean, the dimensions, this dress is really, please, we need Garcelle's dress and we need Bose's dress at BravoCon. We need them like in those like,
I never go to the museums at BravoCon. I need to go. You guys have to make me this year. I never do.
I'm just so excited for BravoCon in general. I can't wait for more information about that. Ashely and I will be there as well, come hell or high water. But it was so much fun.
I'll tell you guys where I'm staying after this, and you guys, like, hopefully we can all just stay like under the same umbrella.
That would be really smart.
I would love that.
Yeah, that's smart.
But with that, guys, I think that we covered everything and the reunion. But the best part is the Bravo drama. We have over 150 Bravo celebrities. So we're going to get legal issues. We're going to get financial issues. We're going to get divorces. Those are the negatives. But we're also going to get positives, grandbabies, career moves, come ups, all of the things. That's what they give us. And if you want to keep up on all of it, it doesn't just stop here, guys. You can go right over here, and I'll let one of you take it away, and then I'll take it to the Instagram.
Well, I will start with the website. This is tasteofreality.com. We cover all the latest things happening in the Bravo world and beyond. We have Bachelor, Bachelorette content up, different Netflix shows. White Lotus is popular in our group right now, which we absolutely love, the Taste Bud community. Always come to our live discussions. If you like to chat while you watch, you can go into our live discussions and tell the Taste Buds what you think of the episodes. So the website is there for you. We have our reviews on there also. I posted a review from Pinky's not too long ago. I'm doing another review this week of I ordered from Sutton's store, the Sutton's Green Label. So I'm going to a concert in LA next week and I'm wearing that skirt. So I will write a review on that and my whole shopping experience through her store. So please go ahead and follow along with us.
Yeah. And then let me take it over to the gram really quick. Okay, here we go.
And yes, I'm seeing Vicky. Kathy does look like the statue of Mary. Like it does give religious vibes. And she is mother, so it makes sense.
Yeah. This is our Instagram page. We just hit 74,000 followers yesterday, so that was super exciting. Thank you for everyone from Adam's family that comes over to our social media and our website. It means so much to us. But this is our page. We talk about the articles that we write and anything else pop culture related. We post a little bit quicker, but usually we have more context to what we post on our site. Again, we absolutely love this quote when she's like, "I am strong." Mic drop.
So she just walked away at that point. Like she should have literally tucked her tail between her legs and walked away.
Exactly. So if you guys would like to give us a follow over there, please do. Can we also talk about how stunning Garcelle looked in her departure video? If you're ever going to depart from something, you need to look that good when you do it.
That's how you look when you're breaking up with somebody, for the record. Like remind them of how good they had it and then literally walk. Thank God she walked away from this reunion because otherwise we might not have seen the back of that beautiful dress.
100%. We
love
need to
that.
see her go, but we love to see her leave.
Yes.
All right, guys. Oh, well, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so yeah, give us a follow on tasteof_reality.
And then let me just go ahead to Taste of Reality because I know that we are working on our TikToks.
Yes.
Too, so
I had a theory today and then TikTok flagged it, so I took it down. But MJ commented on what Erica said about the Chateau Marmont thing. And she's like, oh, they were probably working because Erica on Watch What Happens Live last night commented about seeing Mauricio at Chateau Marmont and the two women he was with. And I didn't know. Guys, I got dragged so hard. I had no idea that Chateau Marmont is where a lot of working girls go. And then it was a lot of people are like, oh, I was with working girls. And then I felt so stupid. And then TikTok flagged it. So I was like, let me take this down. But I'm going to say it anyway, because this theory's tracks and I am still saying it. MJ wrote in the comments, like, I bet they're working. And I took it as, well, they're working girls. But no, Imani, and I forgot this, but MJ works for Mauricio at
the agency.
But why would you be making out in public with somebody who works at the agency?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Like that's a power dynamic and illegal, and he would get me tooed for that. Illegal. Like, I think it's worse to insinuate that they were working with him at the agency than it is to insinuate what I thought they were doing, but whatever.
Well.
Drag me. Sorry.
Drag me, Monique.
Drag me, Monique.
You guys can go to tasteofreality.com. You can also find the ladies on Instagram and TikTok. And like I said at the beginning of this, for all of you guys, as we are rolling out more products right now, we had a great meeting yesterday with our partners for Blow. We're rolling out like 4 more products before the summer, which I'm so excited about. We're doing bundles and we're soon going to move into something else more exciting. Can't really share because Jason will kill me. But if you guys don't know, you can go to theblowcompany.com. You can go through the site and sort of educate yourself on the products that would work best for you. You can see our reviews. And yeah, you can use code SPRING20 to get 20% off of your first purchase. So with that, guys, happy Wednesday. We still have a lot going on this week. We're going to have Southern Charm reunions. We're going to have Summer House where we're going to see Craig get roasted. All of the things. So
let's drag the shitty men.
Let's drag the shitty men. But smash the like button, guys. Get subscribed. And I have more videos coming out on Up and Adam channel 1 and also channel 2 today. So stick around and find out. And if you guys are bored in the meantime, you guys can also go to our community tab and vote in the polls. So I love you guys. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.